Hi, this is Dr. Kerry Kriger, founder and executive director of Save the Frogs, and I would like to welcome you all to the Save the Frogs Advisory Committee online meeting. Can you all send a chat in to let me know that you can hear me? All right, awesome. Thanks. So thanks for being here, and we'd like to start holding these types of online meetings maybe once every 2 months or so that we can drastically increase the communication between everyone on our advisory committee. And the goal of having the advisory committee is that all of you have your certain type of knowledge that benefits Save the Frogs, and you have different experiences, and we just want to get some ideas going around and have you guys be as active as possible. I understand all of you have a lot of other things going on in your lives, so I do appreciate your assistance. And maybe we'll start out by going around. Some of you have the ability to speak into your mics, and hopefully your microphones will work, and everyone can give an introduction of yourself. And so I'm going to start. We have 2 advisory committee members here in the office in Santa Cruz right now, and maybe I will hand this over to Michael Starkey, who helps me with lots of Save the Frogs things, including coordinating the advisory committee. He also gives a lot of educational presentations. He's headed to Ghana in a few days to assist with our efforts there in West Africa, and I'm going to hand it off to him to say a little few words about himself and whatever he wants to say.
I want to, well, thank you all for coming. I really appreciate you all making the effort to come out on this day. I know that some of you are coming from various parts of the world, and I hope some of you aren't up very late right now, but thank you so much for being here. You all have been very great with also getting back to my emails back and forth, and I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm going to be out of touch for about the next month and a half because I'll be, if you've been aware of what's going on, I'll be going to Ghana for most of the month of April, but I'm hoping to have these meetings quarterly, but we'll talk about that soon. Should I pass off to Chris?
Are we doing introductions?
Yeah.
Yeah, just pass it to Chris.
Sure. And so our other advisory committee member, I'm going to pass it off to him. He can introduce himself.
What you have done for Save the Frogs.
Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Chris Berry. I've been working on bullfrog legislation for Save the Frogs as the watershed manager for the city of Santa Cruz, and also as a fish and game commissioner for the county of Santa Cruz. So we were successful in banning the sale and importation and possession of bullfrogs here last year. In addition to that, I'm working on an Endangered Species Act compliance permit for the city of Santa Cruz for California red-legged frog and some other species. So I'm excited to join you today, and it looks like there's a good cast of characters, and with that, I'll hand it back off to Dr. Kriger. Oh, yeah. Dr. Kriger says I should remind you that I'm speaking at Save the Frogs Day at the Arboretum at UC Santa Cruz. So I think that's at 5:30. The event runs from, 4:20 to 7:30 or something like that, and hopefully we'll see you there. There's a field trip at the end of the speeches as well. So thanks, everybody.
All right, Kerry Kriger again. Okay. Well, let's test some of you out. I'll start with Victor Luja. Victor is in Mexico, and I have unmuted you. Victor, you'll have to unmute yourself, it looks like, and then you'll be able to talk, and you can tell us about some of the work you've done with Save the Frogs, bringing me to Mexico, and some of the current things that are going on there. If you are able to unmute yourself, and if you try to talk or can't figure something out, then definitely send in a little chat and I'll get that. So we'll come back to Victor because he has not unmuted himself. And let's we can try one more time with Dr. Sharma. in India. And Dr. Sharma, you are able to talk right now, I think.
Yes, I'm ready. I just want to welcome and say hello to all the members of the advisory committee. And I am Krishna Kumar Sharma. I am professor of zoology in a university in Ajmer, and we are doing activities to save the frogs. Indeed, I was interested for the last nearly 3 decades, but when I came in contact with Dr. Kerry Kriger, I'm very happy that this is an international awareness campaign for saving the frogs all over the world. And we are doing regularly activities, International Save the Frogs Day, this 27th April also. More than 2,000 persons is our target to send our message. And we are touching nearly all parts of the Western India from where I come from. And will increase our activities in other parts of the country. And the most important events which we have been doing is rehabilitation for those species which have declined due to uncontrolled use of the pesticides. And since I am professor of zoology, we have made efforts to ban dissection of the frogs in schools and colleges, and going to these organizations that how they can use the alternatives of dissection. So these are the activities me, Dr. Vivek and other team members in our area we are doing. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dr. Sharma. I'm going to go back to Victor Luja, who's working on his mic, and we're going to see if it got fixed. Victor, if you unmute yourself, then you should be able to talk. Okay, I think you're on.
Hello, everyone. Well,
Hola.
I'm Luja. I'm from Mexico. Hola. I am working in a small university in the Pacific Coast in the state of Nayarit. I am working with amphibian diversity and evolution. I have working with Dr. Barry Sinervo developing an ecophysiological model to assess the extinction probabilities of amphibians in Mexico. And I am working now in organizing an Save the Frogs Day event here in my city. In fact, I need to leave the meeting soon because I have a radio interview trying to explain the objectives and the goals of the Save the Frogs Day here.
Okay, thanks a lot. And I'll also add to that that Victor was responsible for finding the funding to get me down to Mexico last November. I went to a conference and spoke as a keynote speaker in Chiapas, and based on that, we've gotten a lot of new Save the Frogs Day activity, Save the Frogs activity in general happening in Mexico. So thanks, Victor. And I'm going to try KV Guru Raja, who is in India. And Guru Raja, you are now able to talk.
Hi, everyone there. This is Guru Raja from this is Guru Raja from India. So I have been working in the Western Ghats over last decade, and I'm used to have discussions with school students especially, because I feel that they are the ones who are the torchbearers for Save the Frogs campaign. And I have been doing Save the Frogs as I came in contact with Kerry a few years back, and we have conducted a couple of Save the Frog days now. And last year we released a book on the Save the Day Frog, and this year we are going to release a mobile app to identify frogs in the Western Ghats. Probably this will also happen on 27th of April this year. So that's me. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Now with the app, if that's something that's available to phone users worldwide, then please definitely send me the information as soon as you know it, and we can definitely inform our users worldwide about that, and I think that's a great idea. So thank you for all your efforts. Sure. And George Sellers, calling in from South Carolina, has been helping out a lot in schools. And George, you are able to talk. How's it going?
Hey, doing very well, Kerry. I think this is a great idea to have these online conferences like this, and I'm glad to see that the advisory committee is going to be doing this. As Kerry said, I'm in South Carolina, specifically in Greenwood, South Carolina, and I teach high school in a rural area outside of Greenwood. And this year we're having our Save the Frog event at the Greenville Zoo in conjunction with the zoo people there, and we're expecting over 1,000 people to attend, so we're excited about that, and I'm trying to get everything organized and going for it.
Thanks. Are your high school students going to be helping out at that event, or will they be having a separate event?
They will be helping out at that event. It starts at 9 and it ends at 2. So we have a lot of activities planned. The kids are excited about it, and including getting signatures for ban atrazine, and so they are really fired up about it.
Okay, that sounds great. Thanks a lot, George. And we have Frank Santana from the San Diego Zoo. Frank, hi. Can you hear me, Frank? All right. I'm going to move on, Frank. Feel free to chat in. Speaker's not working. Okay. His speaker's not working. All right. Feel free if you want to type us in anything about you or anything you want me to read or any kind of questions, then feel free to. So that's Frank Santana. He's at San Diego Zoo. Works on some mountain yellow-legged frog issues, among other things. And I'm going to pass it on to Dave Urbanek. And Dave, I believe, is our only non-scientist on the line. And Dave helps out with some technology issues. And if you're able to talk, Dave, all you would have to do is unmute yourself, and then you can talk if you have a few words for us. Oh, here he is.
Dr. Kriger, it's good to talk with you.
Hi.
It's good to talk with everyone else. Good to well.
Thanks for joining us.
Glad to join. I am happy to see more involvement as a possibility this year. I've been a bit quiet in 2012 after some help in 2011, and looking forward to doing more in 2013. However, I can be a resource on technical issues or otherwise. I'm here and local.
Okay, excellent. Thanks, Dave. All right. So basically, let's see, I guess as I said, most importantly is that I'll give you some thoughts on how you all can get involved, and obviously it sounds like most of you are fairly active, and I thank you for that. So we'll just run down some thoughts, and then I definitely would like to get any of your ideas on how we can get more action happening, certainly in your part of the world, or if you have any suggestions at all related to Save the Frogs. And maybe I'll start out by saying some of the stuff that I've been working on. I've been helping coordinate all the Save the Frogs Day events. I'm going to Colombia in South America next week for 5 weeks, and I have a lot of talks set up at universities and schools in Colombia and going out into the field to find and photograph some frogs as well, and hopefully increase our base of active supporters in Colombia, where there are many endangered frogs. And other things we have going on later this year, we will be having our first ever International Day of Pesticide Action, SaveTheFrogs.com/action if you want to check out that website. And my thought for that is it's basically the same type of thing as Save the Frogs Day, and that people all around the world who have an interest in pesticides, whether or not that's related to frogs, would do some type of educational event in their community or help us get the word out about pesticides and the problems posed by them. And then also we're planning to hold a rally in Washington, D.C., and that's going to be October 12th. And the rally is to raise awareness of atrazine, which the EPA is reviewing this year. So the more we get atrazine in the news this year, the better off things are. I've also been working a lot on getting new educational materials created, and I think that's one of the most important things that we do is just provide people with educational materials and information and some specific actions on how they can help save frogs. So one thing we did in the last week was create this flyer. It's on the students page, savethefrogs.com/students. And we also got one created in Spanish. So, you know, a lot of our educational materials, if you're in a country and the people don't speak a lot of English, then we can certainly use your help translating some of our most important items into your local language. We can send you the file, and perhaps you have a graphic designer and just can produce it in your language if you like it. So, you know, I guess that's one of the things that you guys can help out with. You all have some expertise that I don't have, and perhaps you want to summarize it into either a web page about some, you know, maybe an amphibian that you study or something that you do, or create a flyer. 8.5 by 11-inch flyers are good for schools, videos, things like that. Anytime you make any kind of amphibian educational materials, then I can certainly help distribute it to the relevant people, teachers or students, or our newsletter. Currently, our electronic newsletter goes out to about 30,000 people around the world, of which on average I'll say 3,000 to 5,000 people open the emails and read them. So it's a good way for us to get the word out. And also we started doing a lot with YouTube, putting videos up on youtube.com/savethefrogs, which I think is a good way to get the message out to people in a different manner than we have been doing, as we did not have much in the way of a YouTube presence until recently. So again, if you have any cool videos of anything related to amphibians, then we can get that up on our channel, and it'll probably get a lot more views than wherever you currently have it. With Save the Frogs Day, and I certainly thank all of you who are holding Save the Frogs Day events, definitely, you know, your photos are so important to us for advertising Save the Frogs Day and for, you know, inspiring people to take action. So please get photos, and this year, if you can, try to get some video of your event. If you make a short video about your event, then that would definitely be great, and we'll get it up online and on YouTube. Let's see. So we do have this page, and you know, most of you are scientists. There are a few people on the advisory committee who help with other things like business or legal issues. Most of you are scientists, though, so I'm going to show you this page. I have not updated in quite some time, but we have this page, savethefrogs.com/scientists, and it's worth reviewing every now and then for different ideas of how you can get involved. Save the Frogs Day, stuff at your university. Universities have so many undergraduates looking to get involved, and the easier we make it for them, the better. So definitely incorporating them into your Save the Frogs Day event or any type of project. Maybe they have projects for school they have to do and getting it frog related is a good thing. And also, I'm happy to Skype with your students so we can have an online session just like this. I could give a talk, slideshow presentation, or we can just do webcams and have them ask me questions. And that works real well. We've done it before. So I'm happy to talk to your students wherever you are in the world. Also, yeah, if you have good frog call recordings, I'd certainly like some of them. We don't have that many, but if you have good frog like choruses, then we can find use for that, whether it's in the production of videos or just having calls up on our page to have people, get more of a frog experience when they're on our website. If you're a member of a herpetological society and you go to your, say, annual meetings, then that's a great time to promote Save the Frogs. And if you all need any of our promotional materials, then we can certainly send stuff to you. Things such as our info cards. We can get those to you, posters, or if you just want the graphics files to print stuff in your own country, which would save a lot of shipping costs, then just let me know. I guess that's all that's immediately on my mind, and we can get your thoughts on, how Save the Frogs can help you, how other people should be helping Save the Frogs. Any thoughts that you have, any ideas or suggestions, let me know. I can unmute you if you just send a chat saying you would like to talk. And I guess another thing that we need to all start thinking about is that we need to find funding for our efforts in general, and then ideally we would have, well, I guess two kind of related things. I'd like to have Save the Frogs chapters or Save the Frogs in each country. So like a Save the Frogs India, we have so much support in India. It would be great to have an actual Save the Frogs India. The problem is that we don't have money to fund, to commit, certainly not to commit to any long-term type of funding for these type projects. We already have Save the Frogs Ghana and to a lesser extent Save the Frogs Bangladesh, where we have some people working and helping us out. And it would be good to have this in more countries. Certainly Mexico and India are high on priority list based on how many supporters we have there. But we pretty much need the people in those countries to start thinking about grants and think about the places where you have gotten grant funding before, and keep your ears open, especially because what we do is mostly not scientific laboratory or field research. It's mostly related to education and then some specific campaigns when necessary for things like dissections and frog legs and habitat destruction. But certainly if you all have ideas on how to find funding within your country, perhaps from your government, or perhaps you are eligible, certainly in developing countries, a lot of you are eligible for grants that are specifically targeting your country, then it would be great to have someone working either full-time or part-time in your country, and it's perhaps one of your graduate students who's about to finish up and is knowledgeable about Save the Frogs and what we do, who could start organizing people in your country and creating educational materials specifically about your country and doing Save the Frogs activities there. That would be excellent. And then also by having, even if we don't have any type of official group in your country, sometime soon I think that we should be kind of voting on one person who is the lead Save the Frogs representative in your country, so that anytime anyone writes in about activities in your country, we could put that, send it on to that person, and they could be the main coordinator. If we do send funding to your country, perhaps because there's multiple of, say, the Frogs Day events happening, then that one person could be in charge of distributing funds or educational materials, and it'll reduce the workload for me because I'll just have one primary contact. And then that person could also focus on creating a specific web page for our site, say savethefrogs.com/India, where they could help out with creating educational materials about India, and we could list them as the main contact at the top of that page. Okay. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, next
meeting.
Okay.
We can save that for the end. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Covered everything I wanted to cover.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to turn it over to all of you. Is there anyone out there who has something to say about Save the Frogs, ideas, suggestions, advice? All right. I'm going to give it to George Sellers in South Carolina. Hi.
Hey, Kerry. Is it possible for the advisors to get all of the email addresses of all the other advisors?
Yes, I think that's a very good idea, and Michael Starkey will take care of that. So yes, we will get you all in contact with each other.
Good. I think that'll be a big help. That way we can slash around ideas back and forth and so on. One of the things that we're doing at my school this year is that each year the kids design a Save the Frog shirt, and this year they're putting on the back of it ways that people can help save the frog. So they're taking some of those salient points that you have on the website and putting some of those on the back of their T-shirts. So they could be like a little walking, post board for Save the Frogs and what people can do to help out.
Yeah, I certainly think that's a good idea. And when it comes to, making your own materials and banners and posters and flyers and things, definitely let me know and I can send you our logo, things that all of you should have, our logo so that you can put it on materials, and putting our URL. I think it's really important to always put the URL on anything you make so that people end up on our website. And then the other good thing to have is this Save the Frogs Day icon, and you're welcome to use those kinds of things whenever you create any materials, or including shirts. And also something else, fundraising. I understand that your events cost money, and you're welcome to fundraise for your own Save the Frogs purposes. As in, it's great if any of you can fundraise for Save the Frogs and send us in a check to Save the Frogs, fantastic. But, first priority, if you're asking around for money, I know that one of our advisors, Vic Eichler, he got a large corporation to donate $1,000 to Save the Frogs, and most of that's just covering his own expenses because he holds lots of events. So if you're able to fundraise, you're welcome to ask people and say, hey, we're holding the Save the Frogs Day event. It's going to cost $500. If you can donate to help us fund that, please do, and then use that money to fund your own events. And if you have money left over on top of that, then great, send it in to us. But so I guess that's my thoughts on that. Anything else, George?
Not right this second.
Okay, thank you. Okay, does anyone else have any thoughts, anything to say? Okay, well, I guess Michael's going to tell us about our upcoming meeting. Do we have, are you saying we have a date?
3rd.
July 3rd.
3 months from today.
Okay, but we may be in Belize. Yeah. We're going to pick a date and time for the next meeting, and I guess it will be about 3 months from now. And also, I'll put a video theoretically of this meeting online, and if you think any of the information is valuable to anyone else, you can feel free to refer them to it. We'll send you a URL once we have it up online. And so yeah, in general, just let me or Michael know if you ever have thoughts, and definitely anytime you create educational materials that you think will be valuable to the public, then we certainly appreciate receiving them and can help you get them out to the greater world of frog lovers out there, or help us create more frog lovers. So unless someone types in a chat that they would like to talk, then I guess that ends it for our first advisory committee meeting. And again, thank you very much for taking part and being an active frog saver. Okay, hold up. I think we have one more. Okay. All right, George, you're back on.
I just wanted to put in a quick little plug for Avalon Tyson down in Tampa with her Conservative Forward and all the stuff she's doing for Save the Frogs. I think that's really good. If the other advisors have not seen her website, I think it would be good for them to see what she has been doing, because she has really
that's
been on
a good idea. And Avalon is, most of you have probably seen her face show up in Save the Frogs emails. And there it is right there. This is her website. She's 11. She's been helping out for about at least 2 years. And yeah, I plan to, I'm in regular contact with her and her parents. And I think it's really important, these kids, when we do find some kind of, I don't know what you'd call them, kids who excel at getting the word out about amphibians and environmental issues, it's really important to keep them active, because they'll be saving the frogs for a long time, hopefully, and they'll have a whole lot of expertise already by the time they even get to college. So Avalon's holding a big Save the Frogs Day event, as you can see right here, and it looks like she's got a whole lot of supporters, maybe even more organizations involved in Save the Frogs. So that's fine. She's getting a lot done. And yeah, I even had her create a video that's up on our YouTube channel right now, which is youtube.com/SaveTheFrogs. And I also asked her to start writing a monthly post for our frog blog. So I don't know if I've sent that out yet, and that's same for all of you. If you ever have something to write, we've got our frog blog, and it's relatively informal. And if you ever just have some updates, then we can post stuff up there. There's Michael Starkey with Jane Goodall, whose birthday it is today. So yeah, if you ever have anything you want to write for our frog blog, then we can get it up there, and it'll probably end up in the Save the Frogs newsletter as well. Or if you have some students who excel in their amphibian conservation efforts, then you can write something about them, or you can have them write up something about what they've been doing. A good photo always helps, and we can get them some advertisement, promotion, and it definitely helps. It encourages further action when people see themselves up on the website. All right, thanks, George. Okay, I think that concludes the meeting. And also another thing, just to let all of you know, is that tomorrow we're trying something we've never done before. SaveTheFrogs.com/44 is the website, SaveTheFrogs.com/44. Tomorrow is 4/4, April 4th. So we've been asking people to spend 44 minutes fundraising for Save the Frogs. So if any of you have time, then tomorrow is a good time. And again, it can be even just to help fundraise for your own Save the Frogs Day event. A little RSVP form. We've got maybe 20 or 25 people signed up. So tomorrow If you can spend 44 minutes fundraising for the frogs, that would be fantastic. And that is it. I'm going to end that. Thank you all very, very much. And you'll be receiving an email soon from Michael Starkey that will have a link to a video of this meeting and perhaps some information about the next meeting, which will take place a few months from now. So thank you. Happy Save the Frogs Day in advance, and have a great day.